Welcome everyone. One of the four core components of the Connections program is one-to-one discipling. And Jesus was a master at discipling individual people in his life. The Connections program kind of models that practice and encourages people in the Connections program to disciple other individuals or to make sure that other individuals are discipling them. One of the ways that we do this is we encourage the leader and the apprentice leader in the small group to meet individually with the members of the small group at least one time by themselves throughout the seminar. This allows for personal discipling. It allows friendships to be developed. It allows people to go deeper in their relationship that they just can't all the time in a small group setting. So discipling is really, really important. It can happen in the Connections program. Some people use spiritual direction in order to have this type of one-to-one discipling. Other people have a spiritual guide or a spiritual mentor that helps them to go deeper. So however it happens for you, I encourage you to experience one-to-one discipling, both on the receiving end to be discipled, but also to learn how to disciple others who are your friends and who are also Catholics and Christians with you. Let's take a look at our Sunday's Gospel. It's from the Gospel of Mark. One of the scribes asked Jesus, "Which is the first of all the commandments?" Jesus replied, "The first is this, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is Lord alone. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." The scribe said to him, "Well said, teacher. You are right in saying, He is one and there is no other than He. And to love Him with all your heart and all of your understanding, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is worth more than all burnt offerings and sacrifices." And when Jesus saw that the scribe answered with understanding, he said to him, "You are not far from the kingdom of God." And no one dared to ask him any more questions. The gospel today reminds us that Judaism is primarily a religion of love. And as descendants of the Israelites and the Jewish people, and as closely related to them in our shared Judeo-Christian tradition, we Christians have a religion of love too. Love God, love neighbor, and to love ourselves. One of the greatest ways that we can love other people practically is to be generous with everything that God gives to us. And being generous with what God has given us is called stewardship. It's being good stewards of everything, but especially our time and our talent and our treasure. So I would encourage you this week to help your parish and yourself to practice stewardship. Stewardship is really important to the bishops in the United States. It's one of the methods, one of 7 methods, that bishops encourage Catholics to practice in order to grow in their faith. Stewardship is one of the 7 or so characteristics or traits that pastors and pastoral councils use to evaluate how well their parish is doing and how the parish is growing in their faith. Stewardship is also a method that you and I as individual Catholics can use to become fully devoted disciples of Jesus Christ, but also as a little bit of a barometer to measure how we're growing. Have we become more generous in our stewardship of our time, talent, and treasure? Are we the same? Or are we, backsliding a little bit? And are we less generous when it comes to time, talent, and treasure? So this week I would encourage you to spend some time thinking about stewardship. Being good stewards, being good managers of your time. Okay, our time is our most precious commodity, and time just seems to, drift by so quickly. Be good stewards of your talents, of the spiritual gifts that God has given you. Make sure that you discover your spiritual gifts, develop your spiritual gifts, and deploy your spiritual gifts. Finally, be good stewards of your treasures, of the money that you have. Remember, your money is not your money, it's God's money. And God has entrusted some of His money to you. So be good stewards, be generous stewards of your treasures of your money. God bless you all and have a great weekend.